Did you know that simply changing your eating pattern could potentially increase your lifespan? Yes, you heard it right. Now, I'm not talking about some magic potion or wonder drug, but rather something as simple and natural as fasting. That's right, folks, fasting. A practice as old as time itself, adopted by our ancestors for spiritual and health reasons, is now being rediscovered and repurposed in the modern world. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. What's this got to do with living longer, you ask? Enter autophagy. It's a fancy term for a cellular housekeeping process that allows your body to clean out damaged cells and regenerate newer, healthier ones. It's like spring cleaning for your body at a microscopic level, helping you stave off diseases such as cancer, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. So, are you intrigued to know how fasting could be your secret to longevity? What is your current understanding or experience with fasting? Stick around and we'll dive deeper into this fascinating topic. Let's dive into the science behind fasting and longevity. You know how you occasionally declutter your house, getting rid of old stuff and making room for the new? Well, our bodies have a similar process called autophagy, which is essentially a cellular cleansing routine. Autophagy is like a housekeeper for your cells, breaking down the dysfunctional or damaged components and using them for energy production. It's a remarkable process that contributes to a longer, healthier lifespan, and protects us from diseases such as cancer, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. Now you might be wondering, how does fasting fit into this picture? Well, the magic of fasting lies in its ability to stimulate this very process of autophagy. When we fast, our bodies, in the absence of external fuel, that is food, start looking inward for energy sources. This leads to the breakdown of cellular junk, activating autophagy, and voila, we have a cleaner, healthier cellular environment. Among the various methods to stimulate autophagy, intermittent fasting and calorie reduction have shown to be quite effective. Intermittent fasting is like a workout schedule for your eating routine, where you cycle between periods of eating and fasting. On the other hand, calorie reduction is simply eating less than your usual intake. Both methods essentially limit the fuel supply to your body, forcing it to activate autophagy and clean up the cellular mess. Isn't it fascinating how our bodies have built-in mechanisms to promote health and longevity? It's like we have an in-house janitor working around the clock to keep us in top shape. So, have you ever tried intermittent fasting or calorie reduction? If so, what was your experience? Let's take a virtual journey to some communities around the world with long-living citizens. Now, these are not your average communities. These folks are living well into their 90s, even hundreds. And guess what they have in common? You guessed it, their eating habits. In these communities, food isn't just about satisfying hunger pangs. It's a way of life, a ritual, a celebration of health and longevity. They don't just eat, they nourish their bodies. And they do it with an approach that's as old as time, intermittent fasting. Take the Okinawans in Japan, for instance. They're notorious for their longevity, and their mantra is hara-hachi-bu, which means eat until you're 80% full. They don't stuff themselves to the brim, they eat mindfully, leaving some room for the body to digest and rejuvenate. And then there's the Mediterranean diet, famously followed by the long-living citizens of Sardinia, Italy. They're all about fresh fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. But the key here is moderation. They're not binging on pasta all day, they're eating balanced meals, and they're not overdoing it. Now let's jet off to Loma Linda, California, where a community of Seventh-day Adventists practice a form of periodic fasting. They're not just living longer, they're living healthier, with lower rates of heart disease and cancer. These communities might seem worlds apart, but they share a common thread: a respect for food, a practice of moderation, and a commitment to intermittent fasting. Whether it's eating until 80% full, keeping a balanced diet, or periodic fasting, they've mastered the art of not overeating. It seems like these communities might be onto something, doesn't it? They've turned eating into a thoughtful process, not just a means to an end. They've harnessed the power of autophagy through their eating habits, paving the way for longer, healthier lives. So here's a question for you. If you could adopt an eating habit from one of these communities, which one would it be and why? Let's start a conversation. Share your thoughts and let's learn from each other. Are you ready to give fasting a shot? Here are some tips to get you started. Fasting, my friends, is not a sprint, it's more like a marathon. And like any marathon, you'll need a plan. First things first, it's crucial to consult with a healthcare professional before you make any drastic changes to your diet. They can provide personalized advice based on your health history and goals. Remember, we're not just jumping on a bandwagon here, we're aiming for a healthier, longer life. Now, let's talk about the two popular methods to kickstart this life-enhancing process called autophagy. intermittent fasting and calorie reduction. Intermittent fasting is like playing hide and seek with your meals. You have periods of eating, followed by periods of fasting. This could be 16 hours of fasting with an 8-hour eating window, or if you're feeling adventurous, a full 24-hour fast once or twice a week. On the other hand, calorie reduction is more about portion control. It's not about starving yourself, but rather eating less while still maintaining a balanced and nutritious diet. Think of it as decluttering your plate, keeping only what's necessary and beneficial. But fasting isn't just about when you eat or how much you eat, it's also about what you eat. Proper nutrition is key. Aim for a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. And remember, hydration is just as important, so don't forget to drink plenty of water. Let's not forget sleep and exercise, the two pillars supporting our fasting endeavors. Good quality sleep helps your body repair and rejuvenate, while regular exercise keeps your metabolism in top gear. Together, they help stimulate autophagy, working hand in hand with fasting to keep your cells in their prime. Remember, the goal is not just to live longer, but to live healthier and happier. So tell me, what is one change you're willing to make in your eating habits for better health and longevity? So what do you think? Could fasting be the secret to a longer, healthier life? It's a question that's been circling our minds as we've journeyed through this topic. We've unveiled the surprising connections between fasting and longevity, delved deep into the science behind it, and even visited communities where long-living citizens are the norm. We've learned that the process of autophagy, triggered by intermittent fasting or calorie restriction, could play a critical role in promoting a healthier lifespan and protecting us from diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. Remember, it's not just about skipping meals, it's about making mindful decisions about what we eat and when we eat. But let's not forget, our journey towards health and longevity isn't limited to our dining tables. Proper sleep, regular exercise, and a positive outlook on life are equally crucial ingredients to this recipe. Whether you choose to fast or not, remember that every step you take towards a healthier lifestyle counts. Now, I'm curious to know, what is your biggest takeaway from this video, and do you think fasting could improve your longevity? Before we wrap up, don't forget to do a couple of things if you found this video informative and enlightening. First, give this video a like. It helps us know what content you enjoy and want to see more of. Second, share this video with friends and family who might be interested in learning more about the fascinating connection between fasting and longevity. It could be the conversation starter you've been looking for. And finally, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We regularly post videos on health and wellness topics, and we wouldn't want you to miss out on any of them. And as always, your health is in your hands. Make the decisions that make you feel the best. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy, stay happy, and we'll see you in the next video.